So why did I pre-order a Switch? Well, let's look at it this way. Why I pre-ordered the Switch is because, in a logical sense, the Switch might not be the most powerful thing coming out, or be even the most powerful thing when it comes out. Um, it's the most logical thing to get. Let's look at it that way. It makes the most sense, okay? PlayStation and Xbox are both screaming 4K, 4K, 4K. I mean, come on, you got Xbox One Scorpio screaming native 4K. You got PlayStation 4 screaming checkerboard rendering upscale 4K, possibly native sometime down the line. You got Scorpio and the slim Xbox One yelling 4K Blu-ray player. You've got PlayStation 4 without one. You got them both arguing over bells and whistles. The Nintendo Switch is basically like, well, that's nice and all, but we're a hybrid. We're a thing that you can play on the TV at 1080p, or you can take us on the go with you at 720. You know? And I know a lot of people are like, but your phone puts out 1080p and some at 4K. And while that sounds good and all, and I know you're arguing about that, are you really gonna argue about Clash of the Titans? What is it, Clash of Clans or Clash of Titans or what the fuck game is? Or Candy Crush at 4K? Is that really where you want to go? That doesn't sound impressive. Because, I mean, yes, there are games like Wild Blood and even Grand Theft Auto Vice City and shit like that. But, I mean, those games aside, because Wild Blood technically is where gaming on a phone should be. But that's not but one in, what, maybe 100,000? And, I mean, they have some from the Super Nintendo days on there, like Chrono Trigger, and then, you know, a few others, but, I mean, few and far between versus games like, you know, Need for Speed Most Wanted, which I have. Those games are probably pushing out at 1080p at most. So, when you're like, oh, phones can push out 4K, we're talking about Candy Crush. That's not something to brag about. And the Switch doing 720p on the go is pretty damn impressive because, again, we are talking about full-fledged games like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. That's fucking impressive. Okay? And even Skyrim at 720p is pretty fucking impressive. And then you could be like, oh, well, it doesn't have a long battery life. Well, no, I wouldn't expect it to if it's pushing, you know, Skyrim. It's a massive fucking game. Okay? But again, you know, your phone doesn't have a long life when you're doing gaming on it. It never does. Okay? And even when you're doing videos, it doesn't have a long life. Let's just face the facts. They don't. Okay? Cameras kill your phone, and gaming kills your phone's battery. Just face the facts. Unless you're doing MP3s, your phone's battery sucks. Okay? Which is why there's 100 million ways to charge the battery out this bitch. Okay? Now, again, why did I pre-order the Switch? It's logically an actual system that makes sense. It's one of those things that when you look at it, okay, I should pre-order this thing. It's going to hit us with the exclusives you can't find nowhere else. Third-party games are starting to show up, and it looks kind of interesting. It's hitting us with more than just bells and whistles and bragging about 4K. Scorpio sounds interesting and good on paper, but let's be honest, Xbox, you have nothing exclusive to you. With that Play Anywhere, you're dying. Play Anywhere sounds good on paper. Don't get me wrong, it sounds good on paper. Buy Gears of War 4 and then you can play it on PC and then have a copy of it on Xbox One. That sounds good on paper, but how do you expect to sell on Xbox One when people on PC are playing it and it's not upscale. How do you plan on doing that? How do you plan on beating that? How do you plan on selling your main brand? How do you plan on doing that? How do you plan on selling to the people who are naysaying, who are like, no, you can't do that? Okay? How do you plan on doing that? Especially when your variety is so small. Okay? You cancel games that would bring variety to your brand. How do you plan on doing that? It's damn near impossible, and you can say it's not, but it is. Especially when you tell your fan base to fuck off and buy cult classics. You're not happy Scalebound was canceled? Fuck you, buy Halo Wars 2 or Crackdown 3. That's not how you approach that. Okay? And it's the same thing with the PS4 Pro. Oh, you don't like checkerboard rendering? Fuck you, buy VR. Seriously? Why did you not put a 4K Blu-ray player in there? Fuck you, buy VR. No, it still works with the base model. There's no reason to buy the PS4 Pro. It's for hardcore gamers. It's really not. It's for people who are too stupid to realize there's nothing good about it and just want to pay more money for something they don't need. Which is why your whole presentation was to sell us on HDR and a 4K television. Again, this is why I'm like, pre-order the Switch, fuck the Scorpio and the Pro. Because they both are lacking. You can think I'm full of shit here, but it's 100% true. Pro is not a Pro. It's just not. You need a 4K television with HDR. Why they didn't add in a 4K Blu-ray player when they knew the Slim had one and they know Scorpio is going to have one, and its best competition on its worst day is the fucking Xbox One Slim, is beyond me. And that's the Pro. Get what I'm saying? And then the Scorpio needs a laundry list of variety that's only on Xbox. You need a laundry list of variety exclusives that you cannot play on anything other than Xbox. It's that simple. And until you get there, neither one of you are going to hit numbers you want to hit. And this is why the Switch makes more sense and why the Switch is already sold out. Think about it. PlayStation doesn't want to release numbers for the Pro. It's because they didn't hit the numbers they wanted to. And it's because of exactly what I just said. Nobody's that stupid to run out and buy a Pro when you need a 4K television with HDR just to see what little it can do. Nobody's going to be doing that. There's so much shit they left out of it that it's not even really an updated piece of shit console. And then Scorpio isn't going to sell because you don't have a variety of games that are only exclusive to your brand. I mean, it's that simple. Switch makes the most sense right now, and it's not even out. People are more excited for the Nintendo brand right now due to the fact Nintendo is gonna have a laundry list of exclusive games that you can't get anywhere other than Nintendo. The exclusives are what sells the brands. And that's what I buy for PlayStation. That's what I like for Xbox. That's what I used to love about Xbox is, man, the exclusives were what sold me on Xbox. Back when Xbox, the original Xbox came out. Love only on Xbox games. 360, one of my favorite 360 games is an only on Xbox. The Infinite Undiscovery, one of my favorite 360 games. Only on Xbox. Can't get anywhere else. JRPG as well. Where are the JRPGs this generation? You want to know why you can't sell as well as the lack of variety? Is the fact that the fucking Japan market is the biggest market in gaming, regardless of what you may think, Phil. Until you win them over, you just are gonna fail miserably over and over and over again. Cancel the biggest JRPG you have, your numbers will never recover. Especially when you tell the market you have, fuck you, go buy our cult classic. And here's something you may not know. People who play Halo, not every one of them's looking forward to Halo Wars 2. I play Halo, but I don't play it all the time. I've only ever beaten Halo 1, 2, and 5. That's it. That means I haven't beaten 3 or 4. I don't care about Halo Wars. I'm not going to run out and buy Halo Wars 2. I was more excited for Scalebound. Now I can't buy Scalebound. So you just missed a sell. And I'm not going to buy a Scorpio because there's no fucking reason to. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one thinking that. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people out there who's more excited for the damn Switch than your fucking Scorpio for the reason I just mentioned. Because you don't have any console exclusives due to play anywhere. Say I'm wrong.